Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tippity Top Podcast, the show where we discuss our top personal picks for various random topics. I, of course, am your host, Tyler, and today I am joined by my lovely, lovely boys, Brennan Matthews.
Howdy, folks.
And Kyle Steinley.
How's it going, everybody?
They can't answer you because this is pre-recorded.
Answer the comments below, please.
Every single person, please comment exactly what you said back to us.
Oh, I love it.
So, there's this thing that exists called music, and we all partake of these wonderful sounds, and we're gonna be talking about them a little bit today, because it's top 10 bands / musical artists.
Yeah.
Woo! Woo! Yeah. I don't know about y'all, but I love blasting my ear holes wide open with those sweet, sweet tunes every day of my life.
Yep.
I have a Spotify premium account, so you know I'm serious.
Me too.
There you
go. This was the absolute hardest list I've ever had to make.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I listened to about 6 billion different bands, so narrowing it down to 10 was brutal. And there's a lot of bands that I love that didn't make the cut, and I feel like we're gonna have to do honorable mentions at some point
sure.
on the next episode or something. But
I agree.
Yeah. Anyway, if you don't know how the Tippity Top Podcast works, if this is your first time listening, let me explain to you the rules. They're very simple. All we're gonna do is talk about our favorite bands / musical artists in a top 10 format. Today we're gonna be going over our 10 through 6. Starting with our number 10s, we're going to work our way up to our number 6s. We're going to go around the hypothetical room, starting with Kyle. And yeah, we're just gonna talk about bands and music.
Yeah.
And people who have pipes, people who slap a bass, and all those fun things.
So
Rub
get
those
out.
keys.
So get out from under that rock that you've been living under and enjoy these wonderful sound waves that we're going to be throwing in your general direction.
Enter the sweet, sweet mosh pit of our voices for the next couple hours.
Who knows how long.
Kyle, let's kick it off. What is your number 10 band / musical artist?
That title could go on for so long if we wanted to get really picky. I figured I might as well start off with one that a lot of people might know. I also love them dearly. So my number 10, this might surprise you, is Billie Eilish.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Wow, please explain yourself.
Explain yourself. I've been listening to Billie Eilish a ton recently. Kelsey loves Billie Eilish, Kelsey, my wife, and she's really good. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, I love a lot of her music. Her music's extremely eclectic. She's got a really good sense of just I don't know, man. It's just good.
I'm gonna be honest. I've actually never heard a single Billie Eilish song.
Yeah, you definitely heard Bad Guy.
I don't know if I have.
Dude, you definitely have.
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah, look that. Dude, we heard it at Sad Summerfest.
Yeah, there's no way
you're right.
It was in between sets. Or
okay,
whatever. Yeah. And I was like, dude, this is that Billie Eilish song. And you're like, what? But you mean what? Bad Guy? I'm like, yeah, this is it.
You're right.
And then we heard it. Pretty much like every single like preppy white girl that was around was like dancing, like singing along.
Yeah, you're right.
Hell
I
yeah.
have heard it. I don't remember what it sounds like, but I remember that I heard it now.
Like obviously Billie Eilish is extremely mainstream, and I'm pretty sure only 2 people on my entire list are actually played on the radio.
2 more.
So have fun learning about new artists, new artists, people. But yeah, Bad Guy's really good. Zanny is a really good fucking song. She does a really cool thing with it like echoes on like either side of like the headphones. And it's really cool. And like she even like does an effect with her voice that it sounds like the bass that hits is like making her voice like have a reverb to it. And it's like something that I feel like no one would ever really think of, but she was just like, fuck it, let's do it. And it sounds really fucking cool. I like it a lot. There's a ton of other songs. Wait, what? What's up?
There's this one song she does. I think the dude's name's Khalid.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what the hell, but it's like, but it really like showcases like her range.
Wait, like DJ Khaled?
No. No. There's a singer named Colin.
Okay.
Not DJ Colin. No. Fuck that guy. But no, it was like he was like the feature on it.
Mm-hmm. I think it's called Lovely. I'm pretty sure.
I think you're right. Yeah. But I remember like I heard that song somewhere, and like you know like it said it was like Billie Eilish or whatever, and I was like, whoa, like she sings "Bad Guy," but also this, because it's kind of like the song has kind of like a sad tone to it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like actually like good like gifted like singing. Like she's actually like pretty talented vocally.
Okay.
Yeah, seriously. Well, she's like most of her music she does with her brother, whose name's Phineas, and the two of them just kind of go to town on shit. Even one of the songs on her big album, the When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? It has a sample from Steve Carell on The Office people, all like throughout it, and it's really funny.
That's great.
She had to like get like the rights to even do it, like, and she was just like, "Please let me do this." Like, but yeah, no, a lot of her music slaps. There's a lot of different like kind of like touches of genres that she can hit on in that whole album. So I would say definitely give it a listen. Also, her new she did the theme for the new James Bond movie coming out, and it's so good. Oh my lord!
All right. You know, I've never ever in my life had any remote interest in listening to Billie Eilish, just because I kind of avoid mainstream stuff just on principle. But now hearing you say all this stuff about her, I'm probably going to check her out and listen to her stuff at least once.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm actually like really intrigued now. If you are saying all these super good things about her now, I really want to see what the hype is about.
She's also really cool with like breaking the norms right now, because like she purposely like at every single event wears like super baggy clothes, because she's just like, y'all don't need to wear fucking skin tight clothes all the time. It doesn't fucking matter. And she's just like really good like role model for people, I feel like right now, especially with, you know, the way things are in our media. Yeah, it was very close. There was like, if I'm gonna be honest with you, there were like a ton of cover artists that I kind of wanted to put over her that I listened to a lot, but like I don't listen to any of their original stuff, so I kind of wanted to stick to more like people who do their own original music.
That's respectable. Yeah.
I would totally like, I have like 4 people I could think of to like throw into this list that would be very close in contention with like Billy and all sorts of people on my list. But yeah, no, I think it was a tough one for my number 10 for sure. Like who would sneak in there? But you know what? I've been listening to Billy a lot, and I like honestly with this list and all 10 of these, if you asked me that in a year, I guarantee you like at least 5 of them would probably be different, because I'm going to be listening to different people at that time. And there's a ton of people that I'm not going to have on my list today and next episode, which we totally aren't recording in 2 different times, that that I'm going to feel really pissed off about later on when I think of someone and I go, fuck, they should have been on my list. But you know what? I'm just picking with what I'm listening to right now, and damn, Billie Eilish.
I mean, I agree. Like, this is one of those lists that, like, I change on, like, a weekly basis. So, like, the list that you're going to hear is just kind of my gut feeling this week. And by the time this even goes live, for all of you who listen to it, my list is probably going to be at least, like, half different. So, yeah. That's the great thing about music, though. There's so much good shit that it's hard to even choose. And
it's hard to even figure out what you really want to pick.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, man. Billie Eilish, I dig it.
Damn, all right. Well, Brennan, what's your number 10?
Oh, man.
I feel like this is going to be a massive tone shift, all right out the
gate.
gate.
It certainly is. As many of my picks do, this one does require a grain of salt, because I'm only really a huge fan of this band's first 2 albums.
Okay.
And like the third one's okay, but like after that, it's just a stream of dog shit.
Well then,
you know, but it's favorite band, so this is obviously opinion based.
Sure.
But when I was a kid, my dad had, it was like a 94 or 95 F-150 truck, and it had a cassette player in it.
Ooh.
And my dad had both of these records on cassette tape, and like this band really kind of shaped like my opinions on like metal. You know, that and plus they were different. They're also like a rap metal group. But
oh shit.
My number 10 pick iconic as fuck. Linkin Park.
Damn.
Nostalgia out the ass, bro. Let me tell you. So, the first two albums. The first one, they debuted in 2000. Their album was called Hybrid Theory. And, like, everyone's heard In the End, Points of Authority. That's a really good songs like A Place for My Head, Forgotten, Crawling.
Oh yeah. Classic. The whole entire album. There's one song that's like an interlude, where it's like instrumental, like techno kind of. But like other than that, the album is immaculate. And I remember like pretty much any time like my dad drove me anywhere. Like we're talking like this is 2000, so you're talking like I was like 5 or 6 years old, 7 years old. My dad would always be playing Hybrid Theory. So like every day I'd get a dose of like Linkin Park, pretty much. Nice.
Now their second album was called Meteora, and it came out in 2003, I believe. And like Numb, Faint, like just that's another album where like every single song was like that good.
Right.
I mean I think they have another interlude, but like how would I describe them? I mean obviously everybody's heard of Linkin Park. But they had like more so in Hybrid Theory, but they always had like really excellent guitar riffs, like in the background. Like it's more like kind of mixed down a little bit. Like they wanted the priority to be set more on Mike Shinoda, who is the rapper, and Chester Bennington, who is the singer. Who I will say he has underrated screams. As far as like vocals go, like whatever you think of like
sure, yeah,
like I don't know, it just that and it's just so crisp, so excellent.
He has a lot of control over his screams. Like often you'll hear like people just kind of go for it, and it's like oh cool, and it feels good, but then he just like absolutely like controls everything he's doing when he screams. It's really good.
Yeah, and like it always sounded really good to me. Like it's like the riffs were like. It was just heavy, like everything, like some of like in the background, like choruses and stuff. Like it sounded kind of like evil, like especially like when I was a kid. I was like, sure, damn, like this is so fucking awesome. And plus, their third album was called Minutes to Midnight. It wasn't bad, but after that, just trash. So, but they were the headliner for the first ever concert I ever went to. They used to have a tour. It was called Project Revolution.
Oh yeah,
it was like their Warped Tour.
Yeah,
I remember like I went and like Chris Cornell was there. Like he had like his little like band. He's doing like Audio Slave and like Soundgarden songs plus like his own songs and stuff.
Yeah,
and then like Busta Rhymes was there.
Busta Rhymes,
dude,
wow,
what a fucking tone shift.
Busta Rhymes, fucking slap, bro. like the intro, like it was wild because like Atreyu was there, Breaking Benjamin was there. But you'd have like metalheads like moshing and stuff, and then Busta Rhymes is gonna come on. So all the metalheads just like leave the pit.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of dudes come in, and all you smell is fucking reefer and codeine. Right? And so Busta Rhymes, all right, like his intro was one of the sickest things I've ever seen. He walks on the stage. Like, well, first like this beat hits, like this hard, like bass heavy beat. He walks onto the stage. The crowd goes wild. Like, all the dudes, like, yeah, fucking sick, Busta Rhymes. And for, like, a minute straight, throws the fastest rapping I've ever heard in my life. And it was all, like, stunningly coherent.
Okay.
But, like, for a minute straight, just... But, like, just, like, sick. Like,
damn.
Like, I was floored. I was sitting like, oh, my God, this dude's so sick. Busta Rhymes is getting respect right here.
Damn.
Plus, he voiced Reptar. Respect.
Oh yeah, that helps too.
But
he voiced Reptar.
I mean, yeah, he did like the fucking like screams or whatever.
I never knew that.
Yeah, I saw it in the credits once. I was like, "There's no fucking."
That's incredible.
But Linkin Park was the headliner for that tour. Like it was like their tour.
Yeah,
like they ran it.
Yeah,
they sounded almost exactly the same as they do in studio.
Damn, all right.
Like every note they hit was crisp. Chester Bennington sounded exactly the same singing, exactly the same screaming. Of course, Mike Shinoda, the dude's rapping, so it's obviously just his voice.
Yeah.
but like everything was so pinpoint. And like plus like the whole place was rocking. Like me and my dad were just like, whoa. Like they are incredible.
Damn right.
You know. So I just like I said, they're kind of different than a lot of bands I listen to, but they definitely laid the groundwork. And plus like it really helped off the start of like the relationship between me and my dad.
Yeah.
Because like that was when I realized like, okay, my dad's kind of cool.
Hell yeah.
So my dad's always been a pretty cool guy, but
I've met him a few times. Seems like a rad guy.
Seems like a rad guy. But yeah, his musical taste definitely helped shape my own. And for that, my nostalgia pick, number 10, Linkin Park.
I respect the fuck out of that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I was like the one guy who like never got super into Linkin Park, but it was kind of just because I didn't really listen to that kind of stuff at that age, so I just kind of missed the window. But anything I've heard about them, you know, like their old stuff, you know, it's legendary at this point. I mean, you can't hate on any of the old stuff.
I gotta say though, rest in peace, Chester Bennington.
Oh yeah,
sure.
of course.
You're deeply missed. So, and like before he passed away, he I guess they were on tour and like people were booing that they weren't playing any of their old stuff.
Oh man.
He was like, dude, that shit's like 16 years old. Like, give it a fucking break.
Oh my god.
But
wow.
But yeah, rest in peace, Chester.
Hell yeah.
You were the man.
I just feel like Linkin Park's music is one of those like groups and like some of those songs that just like transcend time, like Numb and fucking like Crawling and like all these songs. Like the moment I hear the beginning of them, I'm just like, oh fuck, there was a time in my life when I got down to this so hard.
Oh yeah,
and I can always respect that, you know. It's good.
I love whenever I play one of their songs and people are like, "This is a Linkin Park song." And I'm like, yeah.
Have we reached that point?
Oh yeah, like the song "Faint."
Yeah.
Like Zach and Christian had no idea that was a Linkin Park song.
Okay.
I was like, and Memphis May Fire did a cover of it.
Did they really?
Yeah.
I've never heard it.
It actually isn't bad, but like it's kind of.
Well, is it old school Memphis May Fire or new school Memphis May Fire?
New school.
Okay, well that's questionable
then.
Okay,
it's not the quality.
Bad, okay,
but it's not like Linkin Park. Obviously, is the much better version,
right?
As are all of
Memphis
May Fire's covers. But spoiler, anyways. Yeah. So my number 10, Linkin Park.
Cool. So y'all have started this podcast with much more mainstream stuff than I was expecting. I'm gonna hit you all with just a massive fucking curveball. Because this is about the least mainstream band on my entire list. And my number 10 is a band I recently got into within the past few months. And I respect the fuck out of them because they're so unique and so cool. It's Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
Dude, Bill Murray slaps. Kyle, have you ever heard of Bill Murray? I know Brennan has, but...
Oh, yeah.
I've never heard of Bill Murray.
Yeah, so
Sick.
Bill Murray is incredible.
I imagine it's, like, not...
It's...
Ghostbusters...
No, but it is named after him. Like their first album cover has like shitty Bill Murray drawings on it. So
no, it's spelled differently.
Yeah, it's spelled like Bilmuri.
Oh, okay. I was worried that I was like, you said like, do you know Bill Murray? I was like, I know Bill Murray, but like I feel like that's not what you're talking
Yes, Bill Murray, the actor from Ghostbusters and Groundhog Day, is my number 10 pick. His voice, it just soothes me. He's really good at spoken word, you know?
ASMR videos.
He really changed the game.
But Bill Murray, the band, I guess technically they're like a post-hardcore band, but like their vibe is like so unique and like goes in so many different directions that I would say they're more like experimental-ish than anything really.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like they're really hard to define by like their sound, but like the guy who started it, his name is Johnny Frank, and he was the guitarist from Attack Attack back in the day.
Damn, crabcore.
Yeah, and he broke off and then started this band, and there's a lot of reasons why I like them. One is just because of how all over the place they are. You'll get some songs that are just like super like hype and energetic. You'll get other stuff that's just like very like somber and like mellow and depresso and you know whatever.
Espresso coffee.
And the main reason I really like them is because they somehow managed to find this balance of like having somewhat like deep and like meaningful lyrics shoved into like the memeiest shit ever. Like their songs have crazy names. They don't put like any spaces in any of the words. Like my feelings have feelings. It's like all one word, all lowercase.
Was it top 10 most brutal breakdowns of 2047?
Yeah, cow people. That's a fun one.
What was it? Wet milk?
Their album names. They have an album called Wet Milk. They have an album called Solid Chub. They have an album called Taco.
What the fuck?
It's incredible, dude.
It's awesome.
And like, and then the best part is that they mix in to like 90% of their songs. They'll mix in like sound clips from just random fucking shit. Like, their last album they dropped like a couple months ago. There is a song where they started off with George Lucas talking about how Jar Jar is like a funny character, and then they just go into the whole song. And then the song ends with George Lucas like talking about the pod racing scene, and it's jarring to be sure, but I may have gone a little too far in a few places. Like they just throw in all these dank sound clips into like all of their songs. My favorite song by them of all time, is called "A Decent Cup of Coffee." It's off the album Taco. It is a banger.
It is.
And like the song itself just slaps. It is such a good song. But it opens with this sound clip from some sitcom from a long time ago, I'm assuming, based on the audio quality. It's like, what do you want for your birthday, honey? He's like, just a decent cup of coffee. He's like, really? That's it? He's like, I'm sorry, honey. Your coffee's terrible. That's pretty harsh. Well, so's your coffee. And then they just have like a crowd of people going, oh! And then like the song like starts and they start like playing and shit and it just slaps. It's so good, dude. Like,
oh my God.
Bill Murray will take you on an emotional journey. Like,
dude.
They're super like non-heard of. But I would recommend everybody listening to this to check them out.
Yep.
Because they just have wild shit. And you'll at least like some of their stuff. Again, they branch out into like a lot of different like vibes, but you'll at least find some stuff that probably matches your tastes.
Interesting.
Also, Tillian did a song on their new album, and that's pretty
fucking way.
My fucking dude. Yeah, it's called The Murray with Human Hair.
Yeah. Which for DGD fans, it's pretty fucking funny.
That's awesome.
That's so
yeah. Also, another like meme moment, right? So the guy who started the band is from Attack Attack, which is this old post-hardcore band. The lead singer of Attack Attack when they started was Caleb Shomo, who now does Beartooth.
Well, actually, their first singer was Austin Carlisle.
Oh, you're right.
The Mice Man. But Caleb Shomo.
You're right. Yeah, Caleb Shomo. Yeah. Caleb Shomo was in the band at one point, and then thank you for correcting me. Caleb Shomo was in the band at one point, and then he left. So in the new album, they like made this huge troll where they're like, dude, Caleb Shomo is going to do a vocal cover, like a vocal feature.
The song was called Thick Thickly.
It's called Thick Thickly, which is a parody of Stick Stickly, which was an Attack Attack song. So they have, and it says like Caleb Shomo, like featuring Caleb Shomo in the song, right? The whole song plays. You don't hear Caleb Shomo a single time. At the very end of the song, it's just, hey, this is Caleb Shomo. This is my vocal feature. Thanks. I'm like, dude, I love Bill Murray.
It's so memey. I love it.
Oh my lord.
So much respect for them. Definitely check them out. I would highly recommend.
Awesome.
Yeah, Bill Murray. Bilmuri.
Yes. That is my number 10 pick.
Badass pick, dude.
Kyle.
Yeah.
Oh, what were you going to say?
I was just going to segue into my number 10, but you go ahead and give, or my number 9, so why don't you just go ahead and give it a nice solid change of pace.
Kyle, what's your number 9?
Thanks, Tyler. And what I wanted to say... no, for real though, I've been so pumped about this podcast for a while just because, not only to tell you guys about my favorite artists, but I've been so pumped to hear what your guys' lists are because like I know some of the stuff you listen to, but like I've been like in a state of not having new things to listen to for the last like 2 months. So I'm so pumped to listen to Bill Murray and like just all these different groups that we're gonna hear. I've been so pumped for this podcast.
I mean, you know me, I love hitting everyone with the obscure shit that I find. So I mean, Yeah, hopefully I can expose you to some new stuff. Hopefully you expose me to some new stuff too, because I'm always looking for new shit all the time.
Bet your sweet ass I am. That's why my number 9 is Corey Henry and the Funk Apostles.
Whoa!
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Corey
Google
Henry
this
and the
shit
Funk
immediately.
Apostles. Dude, go on. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna load up some of these tunes
Hell
while
yeah.
you're describing.
Dude, hit us with the D, Tommy.
Hey, so I'm a huge fan of Corey Henry. Specifically, I'm gonna say Corey Henry because he made this group like after I like listened to him mainly when I was younger. So he was a part of a group that I like a lot named Snarky Puppy, which may or may not be talked about later in my list. And he was part of their group for a very long time. He plays jazz organ. And he is so good. He is the song that I first like discovered him on is the song called Lingus on Snarky Puppy's We Like It Here album. And the song itself is 10 minutes long, and about 5 minutes of it is
10 minutes.
Yeah. And about 5 minutes of the song is him just going ham on organ, like just absolutely tearing. Like the fucking organ could have exploded any second. Like I don't even fucking know. It was so good. I'm sitting there like little I 11th grade me sitting there learning, like watching this song for the first time and just like absolutely melting because I don't even understand. Like my brain can't fathom what he's doing. Because, like, I'm a musician. I used to be a music major in college. So, like,
Right.
I have, like, some kind of, like, knowledge of music theory and, like, how music works. And this man shattered my entire existence. Like, I was like, what the fuck is happening? And I was so enthralled by him that I bought tickets to see him because he happened to be playing in, like, a couple months from then in Erie. And I was like, fuck yes. I'm gonna go see this man live. I'm so pumped. And that concert was fucking life-changing. Like, it was so good. He just, like, because like he plays some of the songs that he's done in the past, but oh my god, like the concert's like 3 hours long, him just like starting a song and then just like him and his buddies like going, all right, you take a run, and they just go like for fun, just ham it up, just like play whatever the fuck they want to make it work.
That's
And,
so
like,
cool.
oh my god, dude, I'm just sitting there like fucking like the lights were low and I'm just like 11th grade me is just like, what even is music? Where am I? And it was fucking life-changing. Now, the reason why I will say that he is on my number 9 is because he only has one like solid album out. He has a couple albums where he does like songs that are like standards and jazz and stuff, but like he doesn't have a lot of his own solo stuff out. The one album that he does with the Funko Apostles that I like a lot is called Art of Love, and that came out in 2018. Corey Henry, please release music. I know you're not going to listen to this podcast, but Jesus Christ, release some music. I need your sweet tunes in my ears yet again, please.
Oh man.
The song Trade It All from that album is so good.
That's what we're listening to right now.
Hell yeah.
It's
dude.
pretty fresh. I'm enjoying it.
So good. It's like so like gospel inspired and like just jazzy. Oh my god, dude. If you get a chance and you want to experience him, he look up the music video for Lingus. I mean, you guys can do it later, but keep listening to Trade It All. But like in general, look up the music video for Lingus by Snarky Puppy, and he's the guy that's like his eyes are closed, his head's like tipped back, and he's just playing the fucking organ forever, and everyone's just like pointing and like just like losing their minds over him playing. That's Corey Henry, and he's so good. Like what a fucking musician. Like because like I have a lot of people on this list that like are really good musicians in general, but like this man understands music on a level that I don't think is this world level. Like oh, he's so good.
Damn.
Definitely give him a listen. There's my obscure turn away from Billie Eilish, but yeah, no.
You went from
good.
like mainstream to obscurity like real fucking quick.
Yeah. The rest of my list is like the most weird eclectic group of fucking musicians you're gonna get. There's like
Damn.
one more on this episode that you're gonna be like, oh, them, and then everyone else is just gonna be who the fuck knows who that is.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
I'm counting on it. I want to be exposed to some new stuff.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I mean, based on the 3 minutes and 9 seconds of that song that we just listened to while you were explaining all that shit, I'm in. I'm gonna listen to more of his stuff
I'm
later.
in.
That was some smooth, funky shit.
Yeah,
And I
I'm
dug
definitely
it.
gonna have a little bit of a different tone from everything you guys are probably gonna pick.
Oh, I mean,
yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, me and Brennan are into some heavier shit. So
I have a couple heavy picks on my list that I just had to because I feel
Yeah.
them in my soul very deep.
surprisingly, I don't actually have that much like brutal screamy stuff on my list.
Wow.
For the amount of brutal screamy stuff I listen to, I surprisingly don't have that much on my actual top 10. But I'm sure Brennan is gonna fill that spot right up.
If you're a real metalhead out there and you want to break some shit later, I'll give you some recommendations.
Is your number 9 any of that said brutal shit?
Actually, no.
Oh, okay.
It's close, but not really. Actually, they're not even as heavy as Linkin Park.
Oh, well then.
It's a tone shift. But my number 9, whenever I was in like elementary and middle school, my dad used to give me $50 if I got straight A's on my report card.
Damn.
So 4 times a year, I'd be getting $50. One time I slipped and he gave me 40.
It's still money.
I had like a B.
Still money.
in my classes, but that was like, you're only getting 40. I'm like, shit. So, what we used to do, we would go to South Hills Village, and like when I was younger, we would go there. It's a mall like in the Pittsburgh area, and we would go to the store called FYE.
Oh yeah.
And of course, that's like for those of you who actually do live under a rock. FYE is like, it's for your entertainment. You get like, CDs, movies, posters, Funko Poppets, whatever. I don't know what the
Poppets.
Whatever the fuck. Pop vinyl. I'm retarded.
Get some Funko Poppets of it.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Oh man. See, I don't know. I'm out of that.
You're fine, man.
I'm out of that circle.
I just see them popping out of the box like, holy shit!
I just got Funko popped.
Do you could be the fucking spokesperson of that shit? Oh man.
Wow.
But this was the first ever album I ever actually purchased with that money I got from my father. That album is called The Sufferer and the Witness, and the band is called Rise Against.
Rise Against. Classic.
Damn. That album, like, there are very few albums in the history of albums that every single song is a slapper.
Yeah.
That album is one of those albums. I remember I got home. Now, of course, like, for that Christmas, my dad got me and my sister, like, little iPods. It was, like, a silver, like, Nano or whatever. Like, not, like the real little one. But, like, one of the ones, like, you scroll your thumb around. But anyways, immediately downloaded that shit on iTunes. And immediately just listened the fuck out of it.
Hell yeah.
Like, forever and ever. So, that, like, Appeal to Reason is another really good album. Endgame is another good one. Of course, they got bangers like Savior and... Re-Education Through Labor and Satellite, and they have a lot of really good music. But there was one concert I went to. It was in 2013. It was Title Fight, A Day to Remember, and Rise Against was the headliner.
Damn.
Rise Against. So they have a song called Prayer of the Refugee, okay, which probably everyone's heard. Even if you don't think you've heard it, you probably heard it. And... it was like their encore. Like, they left the stage and I was like, dude, one more song. They came out and played like 4 more songs.
Fuck.
But that was the last one. That was the last song they played. And like, there's like, I guess you call it like a lick.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, like, anyways. So there's a guitar solo in that song. And then when that solo ends is whenever that part plays. But instead, after the solo, they just fucking jammed, like, just chords and, like, just, like, some simple shit going on, like, for, like, 10 minutes. And, like, the whole place, like, just, like, this crazy vibe. Like, it wasn't even, like, chaos. It was just, like, this vibe. Like, that's a part of, the set where, like, everyone's, like, fucking like, embracing each other. And, like,
damn,
we're having, like, this fucking moment, dude. And, like, for 10 minutes. Like, my buddy Keenan was there. That was actually, I think I told you, I broke my nose at a show.
Oh, is this the show?
Yeah, I broke my nose during A Day to Remember.
Damn.
Oh, shit. All right.
Yeah, fucking, we were in a mosh pit and I got caught with an elbow. And, like, I had a yellow Acacia Strain shirt on. I just remember looking down and, like, all of a sudden it's red.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I'm
Wow.
like, that's not good.
Oh, man.
And so, like, my buddy Keenan looks at me. He's like, dude, like, your nose is fucking crooked. Now, I had broken my nose before at a skiing trip, like, years ago.
Yeah.
So, like, I kind of knew how to set it. And I think that's why my nose is, like, a little crooked. Because, like, I was like, dude, hold my phone up. And he's like, sure. And I was like, pop.
Oh.
But I was so pumped full of adrenaline. I was in a mosh pit. It was It was during a Shot in the Dark by Day to Remember. That song's pretty fucking heavy.
Damn.
But so, like the whole vibe, like I said, like I'm in the pit and there's like 40-year-old men like fucking ripped, and like we're just enjoying it and shit. And then all of a sudden, like the music kind of dies down, and then like that part plays, and the last chorus hits. And the whole place just fucking erupts, dude. Like just madness and chaos, and just like it just felt like the world was just like completely just shrunk into that moment. Like I can't even describe it any better than that. But like because of that, because they sounded excellent live, because they have good music out there, like I gotta put them on this list. They're my number 9 pick. Rise Against.
Hell yeah, dude.
Dude, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I wish I could like add to this a little bit, but I haven't really listened to Rise Against, so I can't comment. But
dude, I get goosebumps.
Just based on that story alone, I mean, I feel like I owe it to them to check it out.
Dude. Their older stuff's better. Like I said, The Sufferer and the Witness, Appeal to Reason, Endgame. Like those are their best albums.
Yeah.
But like, check them out.
Yeah,
check them
dude.
the fuck
Hell
out.
yeah.
So, what's number 9?
Oh, my number 9 is a band that actually both of you have heard of.
Oh.
And both of you enjoy. And one of you saw them live with me.
Uh-oh.
The day after Thanksgiving. And that band
shit.
is the band that makes instruments sound like just the sweet tears of Jesus pouring into your ear holes, and that is Polyphia, and they slap so hard.
My
God! We're about to get into this,
wait.
man. Polyphia, for those of you who don't know, is the greatest instrumental metal band ever in the history
so
of time.
Good. So good.
They shred so hard, dude. They shred so hard. They're so good. They're so talented. Just, I can't even describe, and I don't even know how they come up with the shit that they play. They're like inventing notes in licks that I've never even heard before. Yeah. Like it's so layered and technical and good, and it's just it slaps so hard. I remember the first time I showed them to you, Kyle.
Yeah.
And granted, we were hammered, but like I remember I was like, dude, I'm gonna show you some next level shit. Oh my God. I'm gonna show you like the greatest fucking guitar playing you've ever heard in your life. And I played I'm pretty sure it was Nasty.
Yeah, it was Nasty.
Off of New Levels, New Devils, New Levels, whatever it's called.
Yeah, New Levels, New Devils.
Yeah, and I remember, Kyle, you sat in the chair, you put your head in your hands, and you just stared at the ground and didn't say anything. I was just like, do you like it, man? And you just like slowly like nodded your head. You were just like transported to like another fucking dimension. It was
You know what, Tyler? I'm gonna tell you. I liked it so much that it's my number 8. So let's do this together, buddy.
All right, cool.
Oh shit!
You literally started. I was like, oh fuck, is this Polyphia? This is perfect.
Dude, yes, I could not put Polyphia on this list, especially after Brennan and I saw them live in November. That shit was incredible. Oh my God, dude!
Go so bad.
I helped start the first mosh pit with these 2 rando strangers because they looked like they wanted it. They were kind of like, you know,
they were
bumping around. I was like, all right, they want to start shit. No one is brave enough. So I just fucking jump into the back of them, and it erupts, and then I've got punched in the eye like immediately, and like
I got Tyler in the chest with an elbow.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, like we start the pit right, and then like Polyphia ends the first song, and they're like, hey, so like all you edgy kids in the middle there hitting each other and doing all that wild shit, just keep that going. keep murdering each other. I love that shit.
They were so
like,
fucking...
yeah, we just like got back to it. Like it was so they engaged with the crowd like way more than any other instrumental band that I've ever seen. Like usually if you go see like Sean or Covet or any of them, like they're fucking incredible, but like they don't really interact with the crowd that much.
Yeah, they don't say shit.
They'll like be jamming and getting super into it, and then occasionally like between songs, they'll be like, yeah, so like we're a band and we're still up here, and we're gonna touch these strings some more, and then they'll just like go back to it. Polyphia was like super engaging with the crowd, and they were just like it was just a fun show to be at. Like they just kept like engaging with us and like talking to us and saying crazy stuff. Like they played Champagne, which is my favorite fucking song by them. And they were literally just like, yeah, so like this one's pretty popular. Y'all should just like sing the riff. And we were all just like singing it and like jamming along. I guess it was their drummer's birthday. So they we all sang happy birthday to him, and he like chugged a couple beers on stage. Apparently they call him Jesus because he looks like Jesus. So that's
he
cool.
has really long hair.
Yeah.
He actually was the drummer for like the super shitty rapper.
Oh god, yeah.
That played before them.
That was
not
bad.
to ruin the mood, but like the rapper was so bad. Like me and Tyler were just standing there, you know, like. And, like, the dude, all of a sudden, I hear just, like, the sickest fucking drum fill.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, this dude's got a badass drummer. And then he comes out with Polyphia, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay. All right. So,
yeah, I was like, why is this guy wasting his talents with this, like, shitty white rapper?
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, he's not. He's just doing this as a side gig.
Like, he's just doing this so this guy has some beat behind him.
Right.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
but, dude, Polyphia, so fucking good. If you want your mind melted, just like look up any song by Polyphia. I recommend Champagne. It's my personal favorite. Look that up first.
Obviously OD. Obviously
OD
Goat.
and Nasty are both really
Nasty.
Nasty. Goat. Goat actually is in like the top 20 guitar riffs of all time or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like some like I don't know like what the metric of like time is. I don't know if it's like all time or like over a certain period of time. But yeah, it's on there. It's
Damn, all right.
It's like a number 6 or something.
Shit.
Yeah. So yeah, they fucking rock.
From,
oh yeah, that one's good.
Saucy.
I feel like all their songs are just good. I mean, there's no song by them that's bad. Like, I feel like we could just list off like every song they've ever written, and like they're all bangers, man.
Spoiler, they're later on my list.
Are they actually?
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll get there.
All right. But yeah, also, I guess just so I don't forget to tell this story, there was a later point in that show. And I don't know if this was during Polyphia or this was during a later band, but
oh, is that been on your list?
It is, which is why I'm not gonna say them now. But like,
anyways,
there was this part, like whenever me and Brennan get in the pit, like obviously we lose sight of each other, right?
Yeah.
Brennan is just the mosh god. Like he goes, he
boss.
just fucks people. There was a point during Polyphia where I saw you. This dude like challenged you to like a one-on-one mosh. And he went up to you, you just grabbed him by the shirt collar and ran him all the way out of the pit to the back of the fucking room. And I was laughing my ass off. It was so fucking funny.
He wanted it, dude.
It was like just the most embarrassing thing for that guy.
Yeah, because like
he did not come back.
like sometimes like the pits turned into like Oklahoma drills, like in football.
Yeah.
And, like you see like guys like you'll lower the shoulder into each other.
Yeah.
And whenever like you meet like a good challenge, like you're both like fucking knucking a buck and like 2 rams.
Yeah.
Like it's awesome because I'm like, oh, I have this like massive respect for you. But that dude, like cheap shotted the fuck out of me. Like at one point, like I turned my back because like I think it was during Polyphia.
Yeah.
I just remember there's this one lick, and I just remember turning around being like, oh, like my mom was so fucking blown. I was like, at that point I was kind of drunk.
Well, yeah, we were
so I was
hammered.
like, oh my god! Like I just remember like rubbing my head because like I couldn't process what I just heard. All of a sudden, this punk fucking runs up and like hits me as hard as he can, like right into my back.
Aww.
And like I like fell into like these 2 chicks. I turn around, I'm like, are you fucking serious? And he like gives me like that look like he wants it. So I just fucking ran like as hard as I could, lowered my shoulder, and I like fucking like I hit him like how guys say like a football sled.
Yeah.
And I just fucking drove his ass. Like I didn't stop until like I hit something.
Yeah.
And that was like that like
what a mentality.
we were at the House of Blues in Cleveland.
Yeah.
When we saw them. And there's like the pit, like in the very back of the pit, there's like these rails that like separate. Like there's like kind of like an upper platform. It's probably raised up like 3 feet or so, like 2 feet maybe. And like there's like these rails that separate it. I just remember like running, like I had my head down, so I didn't see like where we were going. And I just ran him like right into the rails. And like I just I just felt like the wind kind of come out of him. And like I let go and he just like walked away.
Yeah.
And I was like, good. So I remember like turning around, like going back into the pit. I'm like, this is fucking sick. Yeah, I had such an awesome time.
I just remember, like, I remember I turned over. I was like, I wonder where Brennan is. Just like you're the only, just you running this man like out of bounds. I'm just like, that's him. I know that guy.
He was some chicken shit for that.
But anyway,
that should piss me off.
Anyway, at a later point in the show, Brennan and I are both in the pit simultaneously. We obviously lose sight of each other because we're just causing chaos. I get like thrown up to the front of the pit, so I'm like kind of outside of it. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna hop back in. I turn around to jump back in the pit, and it goes in slow motion for me. I turn around, and then Brennan is just flying at me at like Mach 12 with his elbow out, and just fucking slams me like right between my ribs, and I just go down. He's like, oh no, I didn't know it was you. I'm just like, it's okay, man. It's the pit. Like, anything happens. But like, I could not fucking breathe for like 2 days. Like, I woke up the next morning, and anytime I inhaled, it was just like I was getting punched in the sternum.
I feel so bad.
It was the worst, but like, it was funny as hell. Because you were just like, you looked so devastated. I just saw like your eyes just like widened. You're like, no.
Because I was just a madman, dude.
Oh yeah.
I remember like at that point, like I bounced off the one side of the pit, and I just got like people like push each other.
Yeah.
I just got fucking catapulted like towards the stage.
Right.
And I just see this dude standing there. And I'm like, I'm about to fucking rock some shit. Fucking Tyler turns around, and I'm like I just fucking like catch him like right like the front of my elbow, like my elbow, like my forearm, like it's like right in his fucking chest.
Yeah, it was
like
brutal,
like,
dude.
Oh shit, that's Tyler. Why'd I do that?
It was pretty nuts.
Fuck this dude shit
Oh
up.
man.
Oh,
It was so fucking funny.
Polyphia, dude.
Oh, Polyphia.
Telling a story about getting absolutely shit kicked into you. Nah, Polyphia.
Good times. Good times. I know you haven't seen them live, Kyle, but since they're your number 8, I'll let you get some talking in about.
Yeah, sorry, we took that over.
Yeah, we kind of ran
good.
away with that.
I figured I was kind of pumped that you guys talked about them, or you talked to them before me, because I know you guys have a lot of experience live with them, and you've been listening to them longer than I have.
Yeah.
But because like Tyler showed me that one night, and it changed my fucking entire career. My head came out of my hands, and I was like, I'm going to be an IT guy. And,
I will never become this. Like, I have to change careers.
Oh my god.
That's how good their music is. It demoralizes the weak.
Oh my God.
It shows you like how fucking mortal we are.
It shows you like the absolute depths that music can reach.
Yeah.
Like how deep and layered and like, complex and crisp that instruments can be played.
Yeah.
For shizzle.
And like my favorite thing about music is just like it always keeps getting better. Cause like I feel like I'm like, cause like I said before, like I'm a music major, so like I learned like I had like music theory classes, and I was like, okay, I understand how music works. And then I go see like a jazz show, and they just fucking break all the rules, and I'm like, it just got like 20 times better. What the fuck? Like it's just all like you can always see someone else that just changes your view about it, just like so like mind-blowingly changing your entire life. Like it's so fuck, man. And Polyphia is like one of those bands that just does that every time I listen to them. Like what I was gonna say earlier was that like every single album you could toss it on and you would not stop it. Like it, every single song fucking slaps. And there's not a lot of, like I think Brennan, you said it earlier, there's not a lot of bands that can do that. And if I'm gonna be honest with you, there's only like 3 bands on this list that I can even do that with. But like, and Polyphia is one of them, and they're so good. The other people that I have on my list either have like a super like personal like meaning to me, or like I listen to them like a ton more than Polyphia, which is not many. It's specifically only 7 more. But yeah. So yeah, Polyphia fucking slaps, dude. Because like I like instrumental bands a lot. Like I listen to them pretty often, and I have some on this list. Haha. And and one of my number 5 through 1 happens to be an instrumental group that I love eternally. I've seen them many times. And Polyphia, like if I'm in the mood for this kind of instrumental, dude, Polyphia will always be the first thing I go for. It's so good, dude.
Oh, same. Like, yeah, because I listen to a lot of different instrumental bands. They're not the first one I started listening to. They are not the last one I have discovered since. Like, I love especially like instrumental metalcore. Just like,
oh my god, yeah.
It's shit like that just blows my fucking mind. And sometimes I don't want to listen to people screaming or singing, so I just want the riffs and the slaps. Yeah. So Polyphia, of all the bands, of all the many instrumental bands I listen to, Polyphia is absolutely at the top of that list. Like they're always the first one I jump to if I want to just like go for absolute bangers like right out the gate.
Yes.
They're too good. They really are.
They really are.
And they're the only instrumental band I have on my list because they beat out all of the other potential candidates for that spot. So yeah.
They are my only metal instrumental group on my list. And like you were saying, like they were actually like the first band to open me up to instrumental metalcore stuff, and you've shown me stuff since. But like this is the first one that like hit me, and I was like, "Oh fuck, this shit's good," and I wanted to listen to a bunch more. Yeah. So this like they were like my gateway drug, and they're just so good. Like
hell yeah,
so
man.
Awesome.
Yes. I'm so happy.
Yes.
Life is good.
Fuck yeah.
Music is good.
Well, we've been talking about them for an extremely long time, so I guess we'll move on to Brennan's number 8.
Yeah. If you're one of the 10 people listening to this, check the fuck out of Polyphia.
Dude, yes.
Amazing.
Oh, for sure. Hell yeah, dude.
My number 8 band is not Polyphia. How I actually discovered this band. So, in 2011, a massive series of excellent albums were released. Okay. I actually heard of this band while listening to singles for another album that came out for a different band that's going to be later on the list. So I can't really spoil that. But in the comments, I kept seeing like, MMF is way better than this shit. Like, this band is so much fucking better than what I'm listening to right now on this. I'm like, what is this? So I instantly, type in the magical words. And that's when I stumbled upon Memphis May Fire.
I fucking love old Memphis May Fire.
Old.
Yeah, let's get this shit straight right now. The last album they put out was Ite. The album they put out before that was pure fucking trash.
So I'm getting it.
Yeah. So anyway.
The album that I think it's my second favorite release of 2011. That album's called The Hollow.
Yes.
It came out in April of 2011. It still holds up to this day. I still listen to it heavily to this day.
Same.
The first song I ever heard from them was The Sinner, which is completely turned my world upside down. My socks were blown right off my feet. I just, because I was like, we had a computer desk at my parents' house.
Yeah.
All right. And I just remember, like I said, I'm on YouTube. I'm looking up, singles for this one album that I'm really anticipating to come out. And it was really good. Like I said, in the comments, people were trashing it and saying that The Hollow by Memphis May Fire was going to be way better than whatever this band released. Like, check it out. And I was like, I fucking will. So I typed that shit right in the search bar. And next thing you know, I find one of my favorite bands. The Hollow, it's, I guess 9 songs. The album's actually 10 songs long. There's like an interlude.
Yeah.
But 9 songs of just pure fucking bangery, dude.
They are, dude.
Like every like the sinner, the unfaithful, the victim, the abandoned, the deceived, the commanded, like fucking the haunted, the redeemed.
They're all good, dude. They're all good. I mean, The Sinner is absolutely the best song on that album. I think that's arguably the best song they ever wrote.
But every other song, like it seems like every other song is like a close second.
Yeah, because they're all very similar. Not to say the whole album sounds the same, but like it's just the vibe. Like the album has one like major vibe, and that is just metalcore as fuck, and like it's just so good.
Yes,
and they throw in a little bit of preachy Jesus shit under the radar, just to save your soul. While you're throwing down to the devil's music, it's like
to where God's like, yeah, it's good. Yeah, you're fine. But and then what's crazy is like just a little over a year later, like in June of 2012, they came out with another album called Challenger,
which was also a really fucking good album.
Like Vices, Prove Me Right.
Vices is incredible.
Vices is incredible.
That's my favorite song off that album.
Alive in the Lights.
Oh, that's another just absolute
fucking
banger.
Jezebel, Legacy, like Oh, dude.
The only one I didn't like a lot off that album was the one.
What about like Keyboard Warriors and shit?
Yeah, that one. It was like this song's literally about cyberbullying, and once I like figured out what the lyrics are, I'm like, this is kind of weak. Like,
yeah, that's the weakest song. I
don't even remember what it's called, but yeah.
And that song has like another interlude called Vessels.
Yeah.
And then of course that album also has Miles Away with Kellen Quinn from Sleeping with Sirens.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is like, the soft, like, oh my God, I love you, baby kind of song.
The power ballad.
Power ballad. So, but yeah, two great albums, like literally like 14 months apart.
Yep.
And then they came out with another record in 2014 called Unconditional.
I like that album a lot.
Plus, I like the re-release.
See, I actually don't like the re-release much.
Really?
I know that like you and probably most people think the mix is better, but I guess just since I was so used to the original album, like I don't know. When I hear the second release of it, I'm like, this is wrong. That's not how that's supposed to sound. I'm gonna go back to like the real one.
I prefer like the heavier bass. Like I don't know.
I just feel like the original one is like punchier, but that's just me. Like I obviously like the mix is probably better in the re-release. I just am not that good at sound.
Like I thought the re-release was like bassier.
Maybe I don't know.
Anyways, forget the other shit after that.
Yeah.
I'll get to that in a second. But before The Hollow, they had an album called Sleepwalking, which was incredible.
Oh yeah.
That album is so slept on. Like it has more of like a southern vibe. Like originally they were like a southern vibe. They're actually from Texas, even though like Memphis is in Tennessee.
Yeah, their first couple albums were very like southern metal. Like they dropped that completely, but like
and they had an EP called Between the Lies.
I think
with like Deuce's Last Cruises and like
Gingivitis. Which was weird. Like their first EP is like weird. Yeah, but it some of it slaps, but like they had a different vocalist, I'm pretty sure, and like.
Well, no, that was before Sleepwalking.
Oh, that was before. Well, yeah. The one with like Deuce's Last.
No. That's Matty Mullins.
Is that Matty Mullins?
Because Matty Mullins that EP came out between Sleepwalking and The Hollow.
You're right. Okay, yeah.
But they had an EP or an album like before that, and this is one of the reasons why I never trust movie critics or music critics. Some guy was saying that like, wow, Memphis May Fire has so much potential. And then, like, I listened to the music, and, like, the vocalist sounded like he was puking. Yeah,
because, like, the original vocalist sounded like shit. I was not into it, but...
I was like, it was like puke screaming. I'm like, this is putrid. And then they found Matty Mullins, and, of course, he's been with the band ever since. Now, as Tyler stated, a lot of my picks... Well, as I state now, a lot of my picks come with a grain of salt. As Tyler stated, This Light I Hold... which came out.
That is one of the worst albums I've ever heard in my life.
Yes.
So disappointing.
The whole entire... there's one song I kind of like off of it, but the rest of it literally sounds exactly the same.
I just remember there's the one song on it that was like... I think it might be This Light I Hold. Like the title song off the album. They had the big music video and everything for it.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember when they dropped the music video, and I'm like excited, because at this point, I think they're still talented.
Right.
And
they proved me wrong.
Right. And the whole song, like, because up until this point, right, like, Memphis May Fire is a metalcore band. They have breakdowns, they have heavy shit, they have clean vocals, and they had been, like, upping the amount of clean vocals throughout the albums, but, like, it was still heavy, This song drops, and it's like Matty Mullins is not singing the way he normally sings. He also doesn't scream ever. He's just doing this kind of weird raspy singing, like half-assed, weird edge boy in between thing. It sounded bad. And the whole song felt like just a prolonged build-up to a breakdown that never happened.
Yeah.
Like the whole song was just flat.
Yeah. That's an entire record.
Yeah. That entire album is just like, you get blue-balled waiting for breakdowns that never come.
Oh, I forgot to say this. Stay the Course on the re-release is an excellent track.
Oh yeah, we used to listen to that when we first became friends.
We need to bring that shit back.
Yeah, we would like go to the store and shit together and just jam that.
Listen to Quantity Is Their Quality.
Yeah, dude, that's a road trip song.
Anyways,
man.
So they came up with that record, sucked. They came up with another record after that.
Which is okay. It's nowhere near the level of their old shit.
But they are now starting to venture into the realm of dad rock.
Yeah.
For those of you who do not understand what dad rock is, I imagine a lot of people have heard of the band Five Finger Death Punch.
Oof.
When I think of Five Finger Death Punch, I think of like a man. Okay, he's in like his late 30s, 40s, maybe even 50s. Okay, drives like an old like 2010 F-150 or Dodge Ram. Always has a dip in, and coaches every single one of his son's athletic teams.
That is the most.
Who's in like middle school.
This is the most accurate, like.
Those are the people that
heard.
listen to Five Finger Death
You're
Punch.
not wrong at all. It's
Those
so
people
accurate.
are also the people who are beginning to listen to New School Memphis May Fire.
Yeah.
Which is where I draw the fucking line.
Yeah.
That's why they're not higher on my list.
Yeah. I remember off the last album, there was one song where they just kept gang chanting to a point where I laughed out loud for a solid minute.
Yes. Yeah.
I was like, y'all have to stop. Like
is there any like substance to the song? Are you guys just gonna shout the whole fucking time?
I haven't listened to it in so long, but there's one specific point in that song full of gang chants where they said something that was just so fucking dumb and ridiculous that I just lost it. And I don't remember what it was, but it was so funny.
But Memphis May Fire, The Hollow, Challenger, Sleepwalking, Unconditional. Those albums. Plus I saw them 3 times.
I saw them once.
All 3 at Warped Tour. They were excellent live. The one time me and Tyler went.
And Kyle.
Kyle was there.
Yeah, we were all at Warped Tour that year.
Yeah, we were all there.
Yeah.
They were even like, we know that you guys don't like our new stuff, but we gotta play one song.
Yeah.
Least. And then they played it, they got it over with, and they were like, yeah, back to cool shit. And then played like The Deceived.
Yeah, because I remember, like, I was worried because I was not like up at the front of the stage when they started that because I'm like, they're probably gonna play a lot of their new shit, and I don't really want to throw down to that. So me and Kyle were like sitting up in like the pavilion, just kind of like we were just gonna sit back and chill and watch it. And then they open with The Sinner, and we're like, we need to get the fuck up to that stage right now, Kyle. And me and Kyle and about 100 other people who probably were also in the same boat as us just rushed the stage.
Yeah.
The way they had the stage set up that year was terrible. They only had like one tiny area boxed off for like a crowd to like be up at the front. And we're all pushing trying to get up there. And we're like, it's in like the pavilion, so it's like blocking like the aisles and stuff.
Yeah,
and apparently security was not cool with that.
Warped Tour
and
always
they
takes
broke
place.
that shit up immediately. Like we were getting screamed at by security.
I remember that.
They were like fucking yelling at us, like kicking us out. I'm like, damn, dude, like just let us up.
See, I was
like,
in the pit.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't want to miss Memphis May Fire, even though they're gonna like play new shit.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm at least gonna have fun. Whatever. I'm already up here.
Yeah.
Because I was up there for like Beartooth or something.
Beartooth was way later.
Wait, no.
Memphis May Fire was the first band of the day.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who played after them. But anyways.
Oh, it was like Neck Deep.
Oh, fuck.
Was
Yeah, I
after
think
them.
it was.
Yeah,
Never mind.
because that was
Yeah.
back before I was like super into Neck Deep, so I wasn't like up in the pit for that either. I just like sat back and watched it.
Yeah.
But I wish, in
I just remember-
retrospect, I wish I would.
I just remember like for them, I was like, I gotta be up here. Like, I love this band, even though they kind of suck now, but whatever.
Yeah.
And like they completely fucking just rocked my world. I'm like, The Sinner off the bat, what?
They played The Sinner. They played Vices. I was just like, I'm so pissed. I didn't anticipate this. Like,
Yeah, they played a bunch of good shit, and they
Yeah.
had like one of their new songs. Like everyone literally just kind of like,
Yeah.
Like,
I remember they
entire
literally
song.
were like, yeah, so like we know you guys don't like this stuff, but we just want you to learn the words to it. Like you can download it anywhere for free on pirating sites. It's like, wow, they know
They don't even
people
like
aren't gonna
their
buy
new
it.
shit.
Like,
Like,
wow. So I respect them for that at least. At least they know they fucked up with that album.
but my number 8 pick, I went on and on about them, but they're very near and dear to my heart, especially The Hollow. I love that album.
Yes.
Memphis May Fire.
I respect the ever-loving shit out of that because I love Memphis Mayfire also.
It's
Yeah.
it's unfortunate they're delving into the realms of dad rock.
Yeah. What
Every
can
band,
you do?
Most bands have that day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Tyler,
Yeah. It's my turn.
what the fuck's your number 8?
My number 8 is the band that headlined when we went to see Polyphia the day after Thanksgiving. And that band is a little band called Issues. Now, see, they were not even originally going to be on this list until, they dropped Beautiful Oblivion,
The album is actually
which is one of the greatest albums I've ever heard.
It's really
And
good.
when we saw them live at that show, which I had seen them live before at Warped Tour, but like it really wasn't that great. Like they played some weird stuff. The mix was just really bad, so it was hard to hear like the vocals, and I had to leave early to go see Don Broco, so like it was kind of whatever. I did meet Tyler Carter that day at Warped Tour though, which was fucking awesome. Throw up that picture. Holy shit.
Baby.
I almost shit my pants. But like yeah.
You
I was like
imagine meeting Tyler Carter with like shit football.
I was like cool because I was going to their merch tent. This was like way before their set because I was like, okay, no one's playing right now. This is my time to go peruse the merch. I'm like, I like Issues. I'm gonna go to their tent. So I go there and I'm like, yeah, like I'm gonna take that shirt with the wave on it, and then I just hear this guy go like, fuck yeah, man, and like put his like fist out to fist bump me. I think this is just some random guy, so I'm like, okay, cool. I go to fist bump him. I turn, and then my fist is touching Tyler Carter's fist, and I am looking him in the eyes, and I audibly just go, oh fuck. He just like laughs. I'm like, can I get a picture? Well, I mean, I have to pay for this, but can I, when I'm done, can I get a picture with you? He's like, yeah. And then like Chipper like took my picture with him, and then like we leave, and he's like, yeah, come to my fucking show later. I was like, yeah, I will. Thank you. And then like we go away, and Chipper's like, who was that? I was like, that was Tyler Carter. He's the lead singer from the fucking band. He's like, wait, what? I want a picture of him. Fuck, I didn't know that's what he looked like. I was like, it's okay, man. You don't even like Issues. But
like Issues, fuck up.
Yeah, but like that set that day honestly wasn't that great. So going into this show, I had like, you know, I was like, it'll probably be okay. I'm sure it's not going to be like the best show I've ever gone to. Mainly going for Polyphia, right?
Yeah.
But Beautiful Oblivion slaps as an album, with the exception of the one song, Flexin'.
Yeah,
yep,
Flexin'.
it's Flexin'.
Although they played that live and it actually slapped.
Yeah.
Like it hit super hard live.
Yeah,
I was genuinely surprised.
Dude, the crowd went fucking wild.
Oh, it was
like
bananas, dude. But yeah, like that was one of the greatest shows I've ever been to. Because at that show, they announced, like leading up to the tour, that they're like, we are going to play the entirety of our new album plus old songs. And I was like, this is going to be exhausting. I was like, I'm going to have fun, but there's no way I'm going to have energy for the entire thing. I was more energized when their set ended than I was when I got there.
Yeah.
Like, they played the entire album and a bunch of old shit. Like, they played King of Amarillo. They played Hero. They played, like, old
Flojo.
Yeah, Flojo. Oh, my God.
Dude.
Yeah, like they just played all these bangers, and then they did an encore too, and it was like it was so good. That was one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. They put on a hell of a show, and Brennan can attest to that because he was right there with me.
They were absolutely awesome.
They were incredible, and like for those of you who don't know who Issues are, they're very weird. I'm gonna say that they're not for everybody. Their old stuff is very much like hard metalcore with like hip hop mixed in, which again is very weird. It does not work for everybody. No. I think it's cool, not necessarily cool, but it's unique, and I like the uniqueness of it, and it like kind of grabbed me. They do have some bad songs. They have some atrocious songs, but Beautiful Oblivion, their new album, is where they like refined their sound. They dropped out almost all the screamo, which I think is beneficial for them. They basically just encapsulated like the funk vibe of their older stuff and just focused super heavy on that for an entire album, and it works so good. It's basically like power funk. Yeah, is how I would describe that album. It's super bass slappy. Tons of power chords, like, so you still have like some metal vibes mixed in there. Yes. They're still at heart like the metalcore band that they were, but it's all clean vocals. It's all just groovy fucking bass slappy shit. There's like some rap mixed in there, which sometimes doesn't work, but for that album, I think it does. Like, I don't know. I can sing the praises of that album specifically all day long, and I would recommend it to fucking anybody on earth. Yeah, I don't even care what your tastes are. Listen to that album, please.
Beautiful.
Yes.
No, yeah. I mean, I recently heard about Issues. Like, I think it was like right before you guys even went to see that concert, because you would show me Polyphia before, like in the past of that, And then you're like, oh, you want to come see the show? And I was like, I don't know if I can come. And you're like, well, you should probably listen to the people that are like the main people out of Issues. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I listened to them. And you were just like, listen to fucking Beautiful Oblivion. And I called
because I showed you, we went out to get a beer that one night. And I was telling you about it. And on the drive back, I was like, I'm going to play you a song off of Issues' like new album. Like, this is the band that's headlining. And I played Finding Forever.
Yes.
And that was like my favorite song off the album. And yeah, it was a good time. God, and then I immediately showed him King of Amarillo, and he was like, whoa.
Yeah, I know. It's like, this is not the same band.
It's like, is this the same band? Like, what the fuck?
Oh, man.
Yeah. I definitely like their newer stuff more than their older stuff. Not that their older stuff isn't good. It's just like, definitely like, I prefer the newer style. I like funky shit, if you couldn't tell from Corey Funk Apostles. But so the funky shit was it's tasty shit.
Yeah. I prefer the new stuff too. So I mean I still fuck with the old stuff a lot, but I tend to skip more of their older songs. I skip none of their songs off the new album except for Flexin', because that song is kind of a dumpster fire.
But it was good live.
It was good live, but listening to the actual recorded version is not fun.
I really don't believe you that it was good live, because
it's hard to believe because it is such a shitty song.
Yes,
but
it's awful. but somehow like it was more of like a vibe.
Because the thing is, like, the song on the actual album, right? Like, it does not fit the vibe of the band at all. It is not the same. It is not the same sound. They have like some random chick doing the vocals. It's all very like, the instrumentals are very light, and it's like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's not like an Issue song. But when they played it live, they had to play it as an Issues song because they are Issues and they're playing it live. So the whole thing, they were doing it with like power chords, and it was like punchy, and Tyler Carter was doing the vocals, and it was actually good. I was like, if this is what it sounded like on the album, I'd be okay with it. But like,
yes.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was floored that song was good live.
Dude.
It like shook me to my core. I was like, this makes no sense. but
like, the whole place having a great time. Rocking,
yeah, we're all bouncing like,
oh my god.
Oh, dude.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, dude. Issues, man. I won't go on any longer about them, but
fucking excellent. Check them out.
You don't have to listen to their old shit. At least listen to Beautiful Oblivion, because it is a tasty album.
Oh,
yes.
It's quite tasty.
But we'll move on.
Kyle.
Number 7.
What's your number 7? Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Here we go. So here's my other mainstream one. And I have a lot of... I have a big place for them in my heart, because I've been listening to them for an extremely long time. Actually, it might be the longest of anyone on my list. Yeah, the longest of any of my people. I'm just like scrolling through my list. And this group, definitely there's some people that like have mixed opinions on them and everything, but my number 7 is Panic at the Disco.
Oh, I fucking love Panic at the Disco.
I like their old shit. I've heard some of their older songs. I like them.
Their best album is A Fever You Can't Sweat Out.
It's so good, dude. That's the first one I heard. There's a good reason these tables are numbered, honey. I wrote the whole thing down because I don't remember the rest of it other than that. There's a good reason these tables are numbered, honey. You just haven't thought of it yet. That's the whole title. Yes, that's it. That song from Fever You Can't Sweat Out is so good. That's the first one I ever heard, and I was just like, oh my god. And I Write Sins Not Tragedies is obviously a classic.
Right.
The Vices and Virtues album from 2011 slaps as well. It's really good.
I also love The Only Difference Between Martyrdom and Suicide is Press Coverage.
Hell yeah.
That's just a crazy name for a song. Like,
Lying is the most fun and broken out with the pants on. Was it Nails for Breakfast, Tax for Snacks? Fucking.
There's so many good ones on that album.
Dude, the whole album is amazing.
Yeah. No, I fucking like. I know a lot of people like either like their new stuff or like their old stuff, and usually that's how it is. But I've really enjoyed some of their new stuff. Not always the ones that play on the radio. I like some of the other ones that aren't. Fucking This Is Gospel from Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die, which came out in 2013, is super good. They have a version of This Is Gospel that they did like a piano cover of on
I heard that.
YouTube.
It was really good.
Holy fuck, dude. I was like, I need to learn piano just because of this shit. I don't know. It's so good. Miss Jackson fucking slaps. You know that one,
I love
Tyler.
that song, yeah. Yeah, we tried learning that one year, didn't we? For
we did.
High school concert, and then it just never happened.
Yeah, that one didn't happen, but that's all right. That was a banger. The main reason that Panic at the Disco is on my list though is I keep bringing up the music major thing, but I was a vocal music major, so I've done a lot of singing, and I am a tenor, which is like a higher male voice. And if you've never heard fucking Brendan Urie sing, goddamn open your ear holes, because he's a very high singer and he's really fucking good, just as good live, which blew my fucking mind. Like, holy shit, he is incredible live. But yeah, I've always been like, oh, dude, I have a high voice. He has a higher voice, but I want to like sound as good as him. So he's always been like one of the male mainstays on my like people to listen to try to like figure out my voice. And yeah, so like it means a lot to me. So yeah,
nice,
dude. Panic at the Disco. I respect that pick.
Yeah.
Also, at every live concert, they play their own version of Bohemian Rhapsody. And
really,
holy shit, dude. And he does like the really big note in Bohemian Rhapsody, like full voice, like not even like falsetto or anything. He just like, it like goes nuts, and I'm just like, oh my god, like he's just like, what a fucking entertainer. He's been on Broadway. He's fucking like all sorts of places, dude. He's so good.
Yeah, he's a talented man.
So good, man. So
yeah,
there's my more
Hell
mainstream pick that you don't all have to look up. Every single person on our list.
I've liked everything I've heard by them for the most part. It's just like my hubris does not allow me to like look up super mainstream stuff. So like that's like deterred me, but I feel like I really need to just like
definitely look up A Fever You Can't Sweat Out.
Well, yeah, I mean anything I've heard off that album for sure. I'm like, this is really good, and then I'm just like, should I look it up on my own time? I'm like, this feels wrong. This feels like against.
Yeah, but that's like the one record that it feels right.
Yeah, I definitely need to just like
that like Pretty Odd's pretty weird.
Yeah.
Like,
I wonder if it is pretty odd.
Yeah,
you've done it. You did it.
You did it, man.
There's our comedy
quality
joke. See you guys next time. But yeah, no, definitely A Fever You Can't Sweat Out, and I would say listen to Death of a Bachelor for like newer stuff if you want to listen to them. They have a lot of different. They try a lot of different things. It's super good.
Cool. I'll do it. I'll do it just for you.
Respectable, bro. I love
Thank
that
you. Tyler.
Oh, man.
Well, before this gets too hot and heavy, Brennan, why don't you hit us with your next pick?
Well, I'm gonna cut the sexual tension with a knife. So, this is a band I really haven't gotten into until probably about like 7 months ago.
Very specific time frame. Okay.
Yeah, just about. Actually, there's a Twitter account. The dude's name is Breakdown Boy.
Ooh.
And he always has like excellent opinions on like, you know, like the scene of like metal and metalcore and stuff. And I remember this one tweet he posted. He was like, "What's the best breakdown you've ever heard?" And people were like throwing like all sorts of like random songs and stuff at it. And this one tweet, like what I would do is like all the bands that were mentioned, I would go and look them up.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But this one band totally stuck out like a fucking sore thumb, dude. They had this one song, it's called The Remedy, and they had another song called Consume that, you know, were both mentioned on that. And I'm like, wow, this band's on there twice. I should check them out. They're from Australia. They just released a new album, and it is fucking insane. That band is Polaris.
Polaris.
At number 7.
Damn, you show me some Polaris. They are pretty good. They're pretty talented. Heavy is all fuck.
Oh, heavy.
I mean, yeah. Let's just don't look them up if you're scared.
If you like mosh pits and you like just devastatingly heavy concepts and music, and they have clean vocals.
Yeah,
somewhat.
They do.
But
somewhat.
But that's more of like tension breakers like within the songs.
Yeah.
Like The Remedy has like a really cool and catchy chorus. But some of their stuff, dude, it's just like a freight train running into a fucking like brick wall.
Stupid heavy. It's like that footage they had in the old Burger and Green commercials where the train is running down the hill just blowing shit up. It's that.
It's that. It's devastation. It's everything. But yeah, like they had, I think the first time was like The Good and the Grief, The Mortal Coil, which it came out in 2017. That album is fucking incredible. And then, like I said, they just released a new album called The Death of Me. And man, they are... I'm really hoping they come to Pittsburgh soon, or like somewhere around Pittsburgh, because I definitely want to go and see them, because they're up-tempo, they put a lot of pressure, you know, they're always like in your face, like their songs are so aggressive. And it's like, it's not like, it doesn't feel generic. Like, it's not like I'm listening to, like, fucking Beartooth.
Right.
You know, or something where, like, you could feel them, like, trying to be, like where Caleb Shomo, like, sounds like he's, like, hurting himself.
Yeah.
Trying to, like, be edgy.
Yeah.
While, like, Polaris, they just are edgy.
Right.
You know, like, you can tell, like, they're not trying to be anything. This is just what they are.
Right.
And
it's authentic edge.
Authentic edginess.
Authentic premium prime rib edge.
Prime rib. That shit's like $100 an ounce. Like, you're talking like beef wagyu. You know, like bird of
100% ground beef edge.
The marble count is dumb high on that steak, bro. But dude, holy shit! If you love just dumb heavy music, check them out. Polaris. I haven't been listening to them long. I feel bad that I haven't. But goddamn, do they slap?
Yeah.
So my number 7 pick, Polaris.
I've been meaning to listen to them more in my free time because you showed me them the last time we got drunk together. We always show each other music. That's usually what we do.
It's usually me and Tyler
when we hang out. It's just
plus Kyle when he comes over.
Yeah.
Kyle, come over sometime, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, like, you know, anytime Brennan comes over, it's just cool. Just, you know, listen to music until like 4 a.m. That's all we do. And he showed me Polaris, and I was like, this is awesome. And I followed them, and I was at work. I was like, I don't remember what these guys sound like. And it was just like, just absolute brutality. I was like, not today. Not today. It just turned it off. I'm meaning to get back to it, but I just haven't been in the mood lately, so I haven't gotten to it. But.
Like, I remember like the last song was like they released a few singles for their new album, like Hypermania. That song is fucking intense. They just released a song earlier, not too long ago. It's called Landmine. That fuck. Like you think like during the riffs you're like, is the world fucking ending? Like, is this what I'm listening to? Like as I like go through the crust and the mantle of the earth on my way down to hell? Like what's going on here, dude?
This is it.
Like
wow.
That's why I absolutely want to be in like a breakdown. like let's say like we go to a show or whatever, like a breakdown's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's about to happen?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
See, I feel like bands like that, while I have fun listening to them sometimes, you know, I don't think I could ever see a band like that live because for those of you who don't know, I am a very thin, frail boy. I have the muscle definition of an uncooked piece of spaghetti and am as breakable as such. Oh. So a mosh boss could see me and just pick me up and use me like a wiffle ball bat to beat scene kids. Like, I don't want any part of that. I will die. So
just stay away from the pit.
I know. That's the thing though. When I go to concerts, I like the pit, but the shit I listen to, people are on my level. Like, you are usually the biggest man in the pit. Yeah, and I usually, with that one exception, I don't have to worry about you trucking me. So.
Except one time during issues with Olivia. But oh man, fucking, I need to see them live bad. But Tyler, after my rambling for a band that I fucking love, what's your number 7?
So, time to go from like the most brutal thing that we're going to talk about today to the least brutal thing we're going to talk about today. Kyle touched on Brendan Urie has a high-pitched voice. Well, you know who has a higher-pitched voice? My boy Tillian.
Tillian Pearson.
That's my number 7 pick, man.
God damn.
Tillian's solo career makes me happy to be alive. It's just
really good.
The man's voice is just so it's just butter on my ears, and it always puts me in such a good mood to listen to him in any project he's involved in, not just his solo career, but any band he's ever been involved in. Anytime he has a vocal feature on any song, it just automatically makes it better. The man can do no wrong.
No.
But yeah, specifically this spot is for just Tillian, his solo stuff. It's very like indie pop. It's pretty basic. Not much to say about it really, but the man's voice, if you've never heard Tillian sing before, like you'd think he was a woman with how high he can get up there.
That's actually how I introduced Tyler to Tillian.
Yeah, because Tillian is the lead singer of, spoiler alert, our band that's very high up on the list that we'll be talking about next episode.
On all of our lists.
On all of our lists, yes. Which I won't necessarily spoil the name of that band if you don't happen to already know what it is.
I actually remember telling Tyler, like, hey, you want to listen to a band where the singer kind of sounds like a girl?
Yep. And then I heard the greatest song I've ever heard in my life, and that's how I was exposed to my favorite band of all time. But we'll get there.
We'll cross that bridge.
That was an earth-shattering car ride, I have to say.
a pretty epic story as far as how I discovered that band.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways.
But that's next time.
But Tillian's solo career, holy shit.
Yeah, like, all of his albums are just absolute gold. Like, my personal favorite is The Skeptic. That was his last album he put out, and it is just so good. From like the vibes he throws down in that album, like he has some really fun, just like funky beats he gets into sometimes, and the lyrical content of that album specifically too is just like really, really good. And yeah, some of those songs just hit like really hard, like really close to home, and like it's powerful stuff, you know? That makes me like it even more. Like, not only does this shit like, you know, it's all like super, super high quality, good ass music, but then it's like it's not singing about stupid shit either. You know, like I have some bands I listen to where I'm like Veil of Maya, for instance. I'm like, man, I really like this album, and I listen to the lyrics, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, they're like ripping out people's spines. So I was like, I don't want to do that. I'm just smiling, bopping around, going to work, listening to like, yeah, gouge out their eyes. I'm like, no, that's cool. And then, you know, listening to Tillian, it's a different story. It's like, I relate to a lot of the stuff he's singing about. And if not, I can at least understand where he's like coming from. And you get like a good feel for
what's going on.
Yeah. It's a lot more personal. And it's just if you like pop music, then fucking listen to it. Everyone will like Tillian because everybody likes pop. And he's a very talented boy, and you need to listen to him if you haven't, and he's underrated, and do it, please. Fuck, God.
He needs to be bigger than he is.
He does.
He really does, dude.
He's like the most talented boy on the earth, and I love him.
Kyle mentioned Brendan Urie's voice.
Yeah.
Tillian's is higher.
Significantly
it is.
higher.
Brendan Urie is extraordinarily talented.
Yes.
I think he's one of the transcendent talents of this generation.
Yes.
I agree.
But Tillian is every bit, if not more talented.
Yes.
Now, I will say, like, on this Brendan Urie versus Tillian discussion that we've just created.
I know, I'm dropping the fucking hate train.
No.
I love Brendan Urie, though. He's amazing.
Tillian sings higher more often, but I'd be curious to know actually what the ranges are, because I've heard Brendan Urie hit, like, absurdly high notes, like it was nothing. And he doesn't like always sing those high notes. Like in Bohemian Rhapsody, he hits like fucking crazy things that like he doesn't do in his like normal music. He sings lower like more often, whereas like Tillian sings higher more often.
Yeah,
which,
I would say
props to Tillian.
Yeah, right. It seems like Brendan Urie just has like more range, but like Tillian is just like he has a higher pitched voice, so it's just it's like consistently up there.
I would love to see them do a collab.
That would be rad as hell.
Oh my god, it'd be so good.
I would come.
I would. I'd listen to it, and like my pants would just be creamy.
I have no shit. We might cut this out because this is gross, but it would happen. I would bust a nut right there.
Blow right in my shorts.
The second it made contact with my eardrums, I would just blow my load.
Oh, fuck.
There it is.
But
show a clip. I'm totally kidding.
Show a clip. Oh my gosh, yes. Tillian, he's the man.
He's a good man.
Yeah. We don't need to go on about it too long, but yeah, just Tillian's good. Go listen to him, please.
God damn.
Please, give this man some love.
He needs to be bigger than he is.
Yeah.
I'll say that again.
Yeah.
Kyle.
Kyle, what is your number Are we on to number 6?
Yeah.
We're on number 6. It's the end of the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think we talked about this before, but we're actually, so this is a top 10, and what we're going to do is we're going to have it be in 2 separate parts. So we're going to have 10 through 6 on this episode, and then we're going to have 5 through 1 on the next, just so that you don't have a fucking, 4.5, 5 hour long podcast. We're going to make it a little bit easier.
I'm pretty sure I said that, but if I didn't, I apologize.
Okay. Yeah, just so people know.
Yeah.
Yeah. In case you missed it at the beginning, now you're going to catch it at the end. There you go. Don't forget to come back next week to hear our 5 through 1, but we're definitely not going to talk about that group that Chillian's in. Definitely not.
We don't talk about them for too long.
Yeah, I'm about to say it'll be like half the podcast.
Yeah,
but
it really will.
But anyway, what's your number 6, Kyle? My
number 6. Okay, so I said my list was eclectic, and here's a different vein of what I listen to. So we're moving to the rap hip hop land, and I don't listen to a lot of rap hip hop, but in the oddest way possible, I heard about these 2 rappers named Rav and Kill Bill the Rapper. And
I think I've heard of them.
Yeah? I might have even mentioned them to you before too.
That shit.
But so the album you should listen to for sure is Beneath the Toxic Jungle by Rav.
Okay.
Listen to Lavender, Get Mine Too, Tachyon is the last song on that album. So that's one of his best album. His solo stuff wise, his best one is Beneath the Toxic Jungle. Okay. There's a lot of really good songs on it, lots of different vibes. The thing I really like about them is they have a lot of references to just random shit. Like they'll reference anime every once in a while. They reference Pokemon. Yeah, they have some I think what technically you describe them as is lo-fi rap because they got a lot of real chill beats. My one friend referred to it as rapping over the Wii music.
Rapping over the Wii music.
I was like, that's fair.
Yeah, it is kind of accurate for what we're listening to.
But yeah, no, I don't know if you've ever heard of a YouTube channel called Super Mega.
That's where I've heard of these people from. They were on the podcast, weren't they?
Yeah, they were on their podcast.
Yeah, I listened. Weirdly enough, I listened to Super Mega's podcast when I lift.
Really?
Oh, really?
I don't know why, but I do. So there's that little tidbit.
Well,
fun fact of the day.
Yeah, they've also been on the channel playing games with them before and stuff, and they're just like, "Oh, dude, I don't listen to rap enough. I'm gonna listen to these guys." And dude, they fucking are so chill, and they have really good bars. Rav specifically, I'll talk about now, and I'm definitely not gonna talk about Kill Bill later. Is his solo stuff is really good. I feel like his voice reminds me, I could be so wrong on this, but it kind of reminds me of Eminem in a way. And I've even heard people say that they get his voice, they hear it and they're like, "Oh, is that Eminem?" And they're like, no, that's not what Eminem sounds like, instrumentally wise. But he's a real chill dude. He's super cool. He also has he does albums with Kill Bill the Rapper. The one that's super good is called New Moon. Oh my god, it's so good. And then they just recently released an EP not too terribly long ago called Solar Flare. That's got some really good ones on it too. But yeah, it's just really good. They're one of the ones that I just always come back to listen to. Because if I'm not in the mood for heavy shit, and if I'm not in the mood for jazzy instrumental shit, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna listen to Rav and Kill Bill, and I just fucking pop them on all the time.
Nice.
They were my number 3 most listened to rap or artists of all of 2019 on my recap thing. So I was fuck yeah.
Damn.
I didn't realize how much I listened to him until that moment, and then it showed how many plays I did of all the different songs, and my top 1 through 20 was 10 of them were their songs, and I was like, holy fuck, okay. And yeah, they're super good.
Damn.
I like them. And if you like rap and hip hoppy stuff and also lo-fi kind of chill stuff, definitely give them a listen.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really been into the genre, but I like this. I'm probably gonna check out more of it.
I've never been in the
this will
genre
awaken
either.
new
I just
things in
randomly,
me. Who knows?
Who knows?
I just randomly found them because of fucking Super Mega, and I was like, "Oh, cool, let's check it out." And I really dig it. I didn't think I was much of a rap guy, but they've kind of opened my mind to it all.
Nice.
My number 6 is Rav.
Hell yeah! I was not expecting rap on your list, but I respect.
I know,
fuck out of
dude.
it,
Yeah,
so.
Good pick. Good pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally sitting there making my list. They were not the first ones to fit in. I fit in a bunch of them, and I just went, "Oh fuck, I'm gonna have rap on my list." And I toss them in there. But yeah,
Nice.
they're super good. So Brennan, I think it's time for your number 6, my boy.
Well, my number 6. I was introduced to this band in 2007. I believe I was in 6th grade, just about. And this band released an album. It's called Messengers. And I actually recently showed Tyler this album and band because I think they have one of the best drummers ever.
I can agree with that.
The song I showed Tyler is called Composure off of the record. And the band is August Burns Red.
Yup.
They're like another heavier vibe. They're pretty brutal. They, in my opinion, they kind of fell off a bit. Because, like, 2007 Messengers came out. And, like, every song on that album is just brutal. Like I said, Composure, Backburner, Up Against the Ropes, Redemption. Like, the whole album is just insanely brutal from start to finish. Plus, the drummer, his name is Matt Greiner. Incredible. Even live. Like, he doesn't skip a beat, doesn't miss a note. Like everything is just so crisp, so on point. Like, he is so just god tier of drummers.
Damn.
All right, like just epic. So then after that, in 2009, they came out with Constellations, which I really love. Great album. Whitewashed, fucking The Rationalist, like Indonesia, like the whole album just cranks, dude. Like, it is just so amazing. In 2011, they came out with an album called Leveler. Is actually another record. Like I said, 2011 was a great year for music. Especially like for me, like being like in the scene. Oh
right.
I'm a scene kid. But like,
you were the most not scene kid I've ever seen.
I know, right?
Can you imagine Brennan with like
bright
bangs and like dyed hair,
neon yellow pants, like
XD RAR,
XD RAR, bro? Like listen, like Sleeping with Sirens and shit,
wearing cat ears and shit.
Oh God, please no! I don't want that mental image in my head. That is some.
I might put that shit on just to fuck around.
Jesus Christ!
Please come next weekend wearing
oh my God! I won't let you in my house.
I will force entry. Oh man! But yeah, like after that, they had like Found in Faraway Places, Phantom Anthem. Man, Leveler was okay. Like they had some songs in there like I really like thought were kind of boring, but then like Poor Millionaire is a fucking banger, you know. But they just released a new track. I guess they're gonna have a new album coming out soon. But they just released a new song called Defender that was like unexpectedly heavy. Like the breakdown in it, like me and Tyler, we straight up look for like breakdown openers.
Oh yeah,
per se, you know, or someone released just like a blah, or like, you know, like whatever, like insert like random sound clip here and then just break it the fuck down.
Yeah,
like it's not like anything like crazy, but just like how they like set it up, and then just fucking sick, nasty breakdown. Like it's like the world's fucking ending, and this is what you're hearing as you're being dropped into the depths of hell. You know, just like that kind of shit.
Oh man.
But man, that like I've seen them a few times. All of them at Warped Tour. I haven't seen them on like a solo, like a different tour. But man, like I said, there's just so like you listen to them like in the studio and you're like, damn, these guys are fucking rocking. And then like you go and see them live and you're like, damn, these guys are exceptional musicians. Like them and like Polyphia are on. Like Polyphia's obviously way fucking crazier.
Sure.
With what they write. But like August Burns Red's like just as crisp.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything they do is like on point, don't miss shit. Like they'll interact with the crowd, fucking flipping guitars around their heads, but still fucking just shred white and blue. You know, plus like Pits, fucking Walls of Death, like the vocalists like just demand shit. Like the whole show is just fucking action packed, you know, explosive. And August Burns Red, man, they never disappoint. Like I said, they kind of fell off for me a little bit because some of the stuff went like a little bit soft, but still, they got right back on the horse. Plus, like, I also got to mention this. Within songs, they have, like, random interludes with, like, some songs where, like, and they even say, like, they purposely do this. They'll bring in, like, random instruments and they play. Like, I remember there's this one song I showed Tyler. It's called Separating the Seas. Where, like, in the middle of the song, it sounds like a fucking, like it's, like, breakdowny and, like, you know, like, heavy. But like in the middle of the song, it sounds like you're like on like a fucking pirate ship.
What the hell?
It's so fucking random. Like they have shit like not in like every song, but like in some songs they have just like random shit going on. You know, and I always thought it was weird, but it was like, well, at least they're trying shit.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, I always appreciate unique shit, even if it's not necessarily like the best. Like I always appreciate when bands try to make like new shit.
Yeah,
like,
August Burns Red definitely tries.
Yeah,
and most of their shit lands. They say I really enjoy them. I love watching Matt Griner like play on like YouTube and shit. Like where he's like just covering like his own music, and you just see him like the drumsticks are going everywhere, and like the speed are going like 1,000,000 miles an hour on the double bass, and I'm like, wow,
damn,
this dude is incredible. Like I said, like the guitarists are exceptional. Like you know, the bassist is like always doing like you know like bass like tutorial videos because like he's regarded as one of the best, and they're just fucking top notch, dude.
Hell yeah.
Number 6, August Burns Red.
It's another band that I've needed to get into for a very long time and just haven't. But maybe I'll get on that soon. It's like fucking since high school, I've been like, I need to listen to more August Burns Red. I just don't.
Yeah, they man, like I said, they've always been like a staple of like my music taste.
Yeah.
You know.
I find it so crazy, Brennan, that like if I'm being honest with you, like so many people from your list so far are people like bands I've listened to before, like in the past, and I've been like, oh, they're pretty cool, but I don't like have a lot of people that I listen to that music to with at that point in my life, so I never like constantly listened to them. Like I always like all my friends like were more into like the more like either poppy or like jazzy stuff in high school, so I was like, oh yeah, and like kind of like pushed me in that direction music taste wise. Mm-hmm. And then like when I'm with Tyler, I listened to like some heavier shit, and like that brought that into my life. But like it's so crazy that my life just like barely missed the track of listening to all those kinds of bands too. Because like I've listened to Memphis Mayfire a ton before in my life, and I've listened to fucking like Linkin Park. I listened to them early on, but I never really like listened to them. And I just like I almost had that track of music throughout like my high school like life, and I just didn't. And you did, and I'm just like, you're saying all these things, I'm like, oh my god, I almost listened to them like crazy. And like, yeah, it's just so crazy.
So my number 6, speaking of, I know we kind of touched on in the last pick that I like very unique sounding shit. And I gravitate toward that, and there is no band more unique sounding than the band I'm about to talk about. And this band, I'm very torn, because I feel like this band deserves to be in my top 5. But just because of personal attachment to other bands, I could not justify swapping places with any other bands. So my number 6 is a band called Shrezzers.
Yes.
And they are one of the most immaculate bands I have ever been exposed to in my entire life. They have only written bangers, exclusively bangers. Not even just like all the songs are good to a degree. No, every song is like a complete and total unskippable banger that makes me want to just do things. Yeah. So Shrezzers, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure that nobody listening to this podcast outside of my friend group has heard of Shrezzers. So let me break it down for you. Shrezzers is a band that is like just a genre-bending mindfuck of a band. They take metalcore and they infuse it with the wondrous sounds of saxophone and jazz and stuff. Like I remember the first time I heard Shrezzers. They came up on my recommended feed on Spotify. I was like, that's a weird name for a band. Let's see where this goes. And you know, obviously like you know, their songs in general are just really fucking good. They are very talented. Like it's metalcore, and it's really good metalcore, and I was like really into it. And then all of a sudden, these motherfuckers bust into a saxophone solo, and I was just like, what the actual fuck am I listening to? How does this work? Why does this sound so good? These are two things that should not be able to mix, and yet they do in such a perfect way, and it just fucking works. It's like, it's a genre that like has never existed before. And it exists now, and it's fucking incredible. Yes. And I'm like, okay, this is probably just one song, right? No, every single song has saxophone. It's incredible. I love it. I wish they had more stuff. The only problem is that they only have one album. which is very sad. They did just as of the time of this recording, they released a new single yesterday. And
no. Wait, what?
It's called Noodles, and it's incredible.
It's good.
Oh,
There's more saxophone in that song than there has been in any of their other songs, and I love it.
Yes. The song ends with like a saxophone montage.
Oh yeah, they slow it down. They take you to a Panera Bread at the end of that song. Like they just
imagine going to like Jimmy Buffett's like Cheeseburger Paradise.
Yeah,
and it's just like that.
Like it's their songs just take you on journeys, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't even care if you don't like metalcore. Please, 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 please look up Shrezzers. Give them a listen. To any of their songs. I mean, I personally think that the best ones are, Noodles is really good. Emoji Queen is probably my favorite. Locals is an absolute banger. And there's one that I'm not thinking of.
What,
Knuckles? Knuckles has rap in it, and it's awesome. Yeah. Like, that is a song where there is arguably too much going on, and yet it all just works. It all just flows seamlessly together.
Yeah, I also love, like, Anorak.
Anorak is crazy.
Anorak's, like, heavy.
I remember the first time... I remember when we found out that the album dropped. We were all at my old apartment. We were drinking. We were all hammered, having a grand old time, listening to music as we do. And, both of you were there. And Kyle, you were just like, dude, put on some Shrezzers. At this time, they only had, like, 3 singles. So I'm like, okay, I'll throw one of them up. And I go to their page, and I was like, wait, what is this? What? They have a full album, and we were just like, oh my god! And then we listened to it. We were so hammered we couldn't actually tell what was going on. Yeah. And I had to listen to the whole thing again the next day. But like, I remember when Anorak came on, we were just like, dude, they're doing the saxophone and the breakdown at the same time. And we were just like, what the fuck? No, and we stopped, and we just sat there.
Everyone got rowdy. I was like, shut the fuck up. Like, that sounds amazing. And everyone just like, shut the fuck, just like sat there.
Yeah.
And, like, listen. I'm like, dude, this is so fucking gnarly.
And I remember when Locals came on, like the second it started, we all just stopped talking and we like looked over at like the TV, but it was like playing on like the PS4. And we were just like, dude, this is fucking crazy. And then we immediately forgot what was going on, and we were just like, dude, no, that song was good. We have to throw it back on. I didn't hear it. And then like we put it back on again, and we were just like sat there in stupefied silence for 5 seconds again, and then fucked off. And like I had to listen to it again the next day. But like that whole album is just perfection.
Yes.
They've never written a bad song, which is why I think they deserve to be higher. But just for personal reasons, like I can't justify taking other bands out of my top 5, but they deserve a higher spot. If I could make them tie with like 3 other bands, I would, but that's not the rules.
I'm so glad you brought them up, and I was like waiting for you to mention. I didn't know if we were going to mention them now or in the next episode.
Yeah,
because like they nearly made my list. Like they were so close, but like just because of like the fact that they don't have as many songs out, and the fact that I haven't listened to them in like a hot minute, and the fact that like I don't have as much of an emotional attachment to them, other than the fact that they just fucking slap.
Right. That's where I'm at too. It's like all the other band, like all the bands in my top 5, I have a lot of like emotional attachment to, while thinking that their music is great. With Shrezzers, it's like they are just unbelievably talented, and their music is perfect, and it's one of the best sounds I've ever experienced in my life. Which is why like I want to put it up higher, but like you said, they only have like 1 album. I haven't been listening to them for that long because they're kind of new, so I don't have that as much personal attachment to them as other bands, which is why I had to keep them in the top 6, or the
keep them out
in
of
my
top
6th. 5. Yeah, keep them out of the top 5. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm tired. It's late. Yeah, so Shrezzers, not much else to say about them other than they are arguably some of the most talented people on planet Earth, and I appreciate and respect them more than a lot of other musical artists. Yes. And I highly, highly recommend checking them out. If you don't check out any other thing on my list today, please check out Shrezzers. Show them some love. They need to be bigger than they are. Yeah. Like they really
so
deserve.
Cool. Like
I know.
I don't get it. Like,
why can't all music just be as like fresh and unique as Shrezzers? That's what I want to know. Make things experimental. When it works, it works. Shrezzers is proof.
Shrezzers is proof.
Yeah.
Yes. I completely agree with that pick, Todd.
Thank you. I agree with you.
Such a good way to end this podcast,
Hell yeah,
Tyler.
dude.
Yeah.
Amazing, bro.
I wanted to end on a really good note. Play a saxophone note. Just one note from a saxophone. That's the one. Okay.
Tasty.
All right. Well, I guess that about wraps it up for today. So this was fun, boys. I'm glad we finally got to talk about music. I've wanted to talk about it for a long time, and
Same, dude.
because I know the three of us talk about music a lot anyway, and that was one of the things when we started the podcast. That was one of the reasons we wanted to start doing this, was so we could have a lengthy conversation about music that we could show to the rest of the world and maybe expose some of y'all to our weird musical tastes and expose you to some new stuff.
If there's one thing I want to take away from this, it's that some people can listen to what I believe is good music and find it to be good too.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's why I love you.
And we want to do that with your music. So in the comments below, leave your favorite musicians / bands or whatever the hell you want to put down there.
Hell yeah, dude.
Because we want to listen to those bands too. And maybe
Yeah.
they'll make it on our top 10 list in a year from now.
Maybe.
I don't know if we'll do it again in a year.
Uh-oh.
That was just randomly.
The revisit.
I would love to revisit this like every year if we can, because
That'd be dope.
I I'm not even joking. I find new bands on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
So I actively go out of my way to try to find new music, which is how I found most of the bands on my list today. So yeah, definitely. I know I know we don't have a huge following, but if people would please post in the comments some new shit for me to check out, I would super appreciate it. I will check it out. I will listen to stuff you throw at me. So
Yeah, if you like our
We're
list,
literally
please like it.
yeah. Thanks for listening and supporting us, and give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Consider subscribing to the Talks a Lot Boys for more content like this. We are going to be continuing our top 10 songs. Our top 10 bands.
Oh, what the fuck?
I'm tired, man. It's late. We're going to be continuing our top 10 bands. On the next episode, we're going to be going through our 5 through 1s, and I'm super fucking excited.
I cannot
to get to
fucking wait.
Dude,
It's
yes.
going to be so good.
Yes. So, yeah. We've been the Talks a Lot Boys, and we'll talk a whole lot more next time. We'll see you later.
Catch you later, guys.
Goodbye.